This is the most important domestic policy issue in my time in the Congress. So I think it's a very serious meeting today of your Rules Committee. I've got a statement that I'll put in the record, but what I really want to emphasize is that I hope whatever you and your wisdom decide to do, that you put up some sort of a rule that is based on regular order. So I want everybody to understand, if in fact a decision is made by your leadership to pass this under what is called the self-executing or the demon pass, you're going to have a vote, or you're not going to have a vote on a bill that passed the Senate on Christmas Eve. It comes to the House, and if the rule is passed, it is deemed that it is passed, and there will be no vote, no debate on the substantive policy differences between the House and the Senate. Now, I am told that on its own, the bill that the Senate passed would not pass the House because there's not a majority, there's not 216 votes in your conference to pass it. So, we start off, if that's the way you guys decide to do it, we start off with deeming something passed that nobody in the House really gets to debate or have an up or down vote on. And then we debate perfunctorily, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, I don't know how much time for debate, a reconciliation package that the only people that have really seen it in depth are those distinguished members of the rules of the Budget Committee. And since 1983, which is the year before I got elected, the Senate has only one time accepted a reconciliation package that came out of the House first. So, if the last 30 years are relevant, you're probably not going to get the Senate to agree to the changes that have been made in reconciliation. And if that happens, Madam Chairwoman, what you're going to have is the President is going to sign a bill that the House never voted on, up or down. The Senate passed on Christmas Eve, and it makes revolutionary changes in the way our healthcare system has heretofore been done. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. You know, you don't have to be a partisan Republican or a partisan Democrat to know that there are legitimate differences and that we need to try to alleviate those differences. You know, the Speaker of the House could appoint Mr. Waxman, Mr. Miller, Mr. Levin, whoever else on the majority side. Mr. Boehner could appoint, you know, 1/3 of the Republicans. We could go to conference with the Senate. And again, you can freeze the Republicans out. If the majority of the Democrats in the House and the Senate can agree and sign the same conference report, you can then bring a bill back to the both bodies for an up or down vote. That's not easy. It's hard to do, but it would work. This process corrupts and prostitutes the system. I can't, you know, I know all of y'all personally, and I respect you. I would not use such language if I didn't really believe it. We are about to unleash a cultural war in this country if we use this process and don't allow the legitimate differences to be debated and hopefully moderated and compromised. So, you know, my main point is don't do this demon pass. I mean, officially I'm asking for an open rule. Now, I know that's not likely to happen, but you could do a modified closed rule. You could make a Republican substitute in order. You could make several amendments, the most important amendments, in order. We could have some sort of a debate tomorrow afternoon. And I might point out that as far as I can tell, in both the Senate bill and the reconciliation package, the main components in terms of policy change don't kick in for 2014. So it's not like we have to be here on a Sunday afternoon. It's not like we don't have enough time to actually have a debate. If you remember some of the debates on the Tax Reform Act of 1986, I know Mr. Dreyer was a part of that, Mr. Miller was a part of that, Mr. Levin was certainly a part of that. If you remember the debate on the war resolution under the first Iraq Gulf War, We had extended debate. In fact, we let every member of the House that wanted to speak on the war resolution of the Iraq Gulf War. So, Madam Speaker, I could go through the substance, but you know, we have a number of amendments that myself and members of the Energy and Commerce Committee are offering. I would hope at a minimum those amendments would be made in order to kick out some of the special deals that were put in for various states and localities. And I can't emphasize strongly enough, for the sanctity of the institution, we adopt a rule that is based on regular order and not some sleight of hand subterfuge that was never intended for things of this sort. I know some may say, well, the Republicans used it too. We did. But we did it for bills that had already passed the House, or that there was at least agreement between the House and the Senate, and it was just an expedited process that was pretty well already agreed upon. That's not the case here. The majority party in the House and the Senate cannot even agree on what should be in the reconciliation package, as far as I can tell. So I do appreciate your courtesy of allowing me to testify, and I do hope that regular order will prevail.